parental guidance is suggested.
This story happened back in when I was in college, and in college I was a communications major. It was a pretty easy major, so to speak.
Oh boy, is this great!
You know, it was around this time of the year, and shortly after Halloween, I remember. And I didn't have any finals. It was finals week, so I had a lot of free time on my hands to kind of just goof around. So, as it happened, my across-the-hall neighbor happened to be DJ Hojo.
I used to be addicted to crack, but now I'm off and trying to stay clean.
And DJ Hojo happened to have a couple things left over from Halloween that year.
Could I buy some pot from you?
Namely, a pretty realistic-looking butcher knife and an adjacent hockey mask. So I thought it would be really funny to go around the dorm that we lived in, don the mask and the butcher knife, and go around and scare people. So I ran around in my leather jacket, and I was scaring people, getting ready for finals and everything like that. And at one point, DJ Hojo says to me, let's go over to the Conservatory of Music.
Duffman has a bad feeling about this.
Where I stayed at the college was a music dorm. And there were a lot of conservatory students, and right next door was this huge conservatory. I mean, it had an actual theater in there, a concert hall, dozens and dozens of rooms where people would go and practice their instruments. And honestly, it was pretty creepy, especially around that time of year. So I'm like, yeah, I'm totally up for it, right? So I get the hockey mask in, and we go inside the front of the hall, Coolest Hall, I think it was called, and there was this dude named Rich there, and he was kind of a strange guy anyway.
They turned me loose from state hospital.
He was apt to being scared pretty easily, but he was the one watching the door. And the way that the building was set up, you could walk up this set of stairs, turn, kind of look around the corner, see the person kind of sitting there being the hall monitor, but they couldn't see you. And what made it even better is that Rich had these huge pair of headphones on that were plugged into a huge boombox, and he was listening to classical music. So he was just totally listening to his music. He was totally not even in the moment. So I just started running at him with the butcher knife in my hand, and wearing the Jason mask, and I came from about it must have been a foot away from him before he even saw me, and the guy just screamed like a woman. Ah! Boogeyman! And he was breathing real heavy. His heart was just racing, and so that was the first good scare. So I was like, oh, so suddenly, I'm like, oh, this is really good. Of course, DJ Hojo's behind me laughing his ass off because he thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. So suddenly my appetite is whet. I'm like, oh, okay, let's go and let's get more people to scare. Well, of course, Rich now, who's in on the joke, was like, Rob, who was a percussion major, is up on stage, and he's practicing for his jury, which the jury, for people who are in the Conservatory of Music, is basically a final exam performance for music students. So he's in the concert hall, so you can go up there and scare him. So I kind of peek into the concert hall, and up on stage is Rob, and it's something straight out of a movie. It's just completely dark concert hall. One lone spotlight right on top of Rob, who was completely just focused in on playing the xylophone. He had two mallets, and he's playing the xylophone, just a beautiful, beautiful piece of music that's all done using this, playing a xylophone. So DJ Hojo says to me, I know a way up into the back there, into the back of the stage, and I know how to get up there. So Rich takes his seat in the audience, kind of, to be the person to watch this happening. And DJ and I go up on stage, behind stage, to get up onto the stage. So we open this big, huge door. It's really dark. We open this huge door, and here I am on stage, and I can only imagine what Rich saw from sitting in the theater. It must have been something something totally theatrical. So you gotta imagine. Okay, so you have the big shaft of light on Rob, and then out of the corner of the stage right, comes me in a leather jacket, butcher knife raised up above my head, and a Jason mask, and I'm slowly creeping up, walking behind him, slowly and slowly. And there's, I'm just approaching him as if to look like I'm gonna stab him. And it couldn't have been planned any better, because Rob's playing his xylophone with these mallets, and I can still hear it today. He just comes to the end of the entire piece, and it's like something like
That's some nice fluting, boy.
when he hits that last note. I grab him around the mouth, I pull his head back, and I pull the butcher knife across his throat. He turns, he spins to see a guy wearing a Jason mask not 5 inches from his face. And the only thing this guy can think to do is he's holding these 2 huge xylophone mallets, and he hits me as hard as he can, right on the shoulder blades. And I'm just like, oh, that really hurt. In a split second, I'm talking like 2 seconds, he grabs me. Suddenly I'm in midair, and it suddenly dawns on me. Oh, I remember that Rob, not only is he a percussion major at the Conservatory of Music, he's also a wrestler.
Let's get ready to rumble!
And this dude totally bum-rushed me, and he had me in midair, and he just was ready to body slam me. And I'm like, hey, wait, it's me. And he just slams me against the ground, and he starts wailing on me.
And where was your tried and trusted pal during all of this?
Well, DJ Hojo was kind of backstage laughing. So I'm screaming, I'm yelling.
Were you laughing also?
Yes, I was laughing, because the only thing is that in the middle, like, he heard me say, it's me, it's Len, Rob, it's Len. He heard me say that while I was in midair about to be slammed. So he actually laid off a little bit before actually breaking my back against the wood of the stage.
I don't reckon I got no reason to kill nobody.
That was actually pretty lucky.
Yes, it
you,
was very lucky. I could have really gotten hurt.
If he obviously felt his life was endangered by some nut with a knife in the middle of the night, you could have actually been hurt.
I've been tenderized.
How did his jury go?
I never did find out. But
really? So you could have totally ended his career.
But you know what? From hearing the piece of music, I think he did all right.
7 years of college down the drain.
So that's my Halloween story.